Hey there, my wedding planning friends, and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, thanks so much for clicking on my video. I'm Emily Summer. I'm a wedding planner based in Montana, and I make weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice. So it is officially a new year, which means new trends. So today we're going to talk about all of the wedding trends that we as wedding professionals expect to see in 2023. Comes to wedding trends, let's first talk about wedding dress trends. So a lot of these trends are based on what I saw at New York Bridal Fashion Week back in October, when I saw a bunch of the designer releases for the spring collection that we will be seeing moving into 2023 weddings. And one of the top trends that I saw over and over again was the incorporation of pearls. I'm expecting to see a lot of pearls in wedding dresses, wedding accessories, and even sprinkled throughout wedding decor, as there were a lot of dresses on the runway that had a lot of pearls. So whether that is pearls included in like the beading of the bodice, or I even saw some pearls throughout tulle skirts, and really unique ways that dresses are including pearl elements. We also saw a lot of bows, and some of these were large, extravagant bows, and some were just small, delicate bows, whether that's in bridal hair accessories or on the dress themselves. I saw a lot of bows on the runway. It's interesting to me, the last couple of years we've had pretty polar opposite trends, but both equally popular. And those are kind of, on one hand, the more whimsical, colorful, a little bit more non-traditional type wedding dress with a lot of floral appliques and color incorporated. And then on the other hand, we had the kind of resurgence of the more classic, minimalistic style of wedding dress. And this is something that I continue to see on the runway for these up and coming styles. Both of these are still pretty present, but something that I did notice is there's a lot more of the more sleek and clean line style wedding dresses than there are the more whimsical style. However, for a lot of those clean and classic styles, I've noticed several designers have started to offer other color options. So color is something that we're seeing a lot of in wedding dresses, and that has been pretty common for the last couple of years. But more designers are offering more options when it comes to color, so you have the option to have that kind of clean, traditional, more classic wedding dress style, or if you're a more colorful and out there non-traditional bride, you can have that same exact dress but in black or in magenta. One of my designers has a dress, so there's a little bit more option for color, but we're still seeing both of those styles pretty equally popular. Still kind of going with the dress theme, another trend that we're going to likely see a lot more of in 2023 is outfit changes, and this can be a change once you're at the end of your night and it's your kind of final look leaving your wedding, or maybe this is a change that you have into your reception, or maybe it's a change that you do immediately after your ceremony. Whatever that is, we're seeing a lot more of the bridal outfit changes. So having a second dress, having a reception look. There's been some videos that I've seen that have gained some traction on Instagram and TikTok of sweatsuits, bridal sweatsuits, which I'm totally here for. So whatever you choose to change into, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of that in 2023. Another popular trend, which has been popular for the last couple of years, is destination weddings, and we are expecting to see a continual rise in destination weddings as more couples are choosing to have more of an experience with their wedding and a little less of the kind of traditional church wedding. With these destination weddings, we're seeing a lot more of kind of a weekend of activities. So typically a destination wedding is a lot more intimate. You're there with closer friends and family, a smaller group of people, and so couples are choosing to make more of a kind of vacation and an experience out of it for not only themselves but for their guests as well. So this is including things like welcome parties, post-wedding brunches, and having organized activities throughout the weekend for all of your destination guests. Another trend that I'm kind of excited to see is the kind of resurgence of the wedding cake. It seems like in the last few years, kind of dessert bars and different types of dessert tables have been popular choice when it comes to wedding cake and wedding dessert, and seeing less of the kind of traditional wedding cake as the sole form of dessert. But in 2023, we're expecting to see more of cakes taking a little bit more center stage. And when it comes to eating the desserts, I'm not a huge cake person. However, I love the kind of the design element that a cake can play in your wedding. So seeing a lot more kind of extravagant, over-the-top cakes. Again, multiple tiers, maybe you're including your wedding colors and having some sort of texture or pattern on your cake, and incorporating using your cake as a kind of design element for your wedding. Touched on this earlier, but color in general is making a comeback in 2023. seems like we've had a lot of similar kind of color palettes for the last few years, a lot of light, earthy, neutral colors, which I love, but I'm excited to see a little bit more pops of color coming through in 2023. Which, if you didn't know, the Pantone color of the year is Viva Magenta, so I think this will potentially play a role in some color palettes that we are seeing in 2023 and probably the following year, and incorporating a lot more of those bright and vivid colors into wedding palettes. Similarly to destination weddings, we are expecting to see just an overall increase in intimate weddings, smaller guest counts, which is something we saw in 2022, at least I did. And so this is something we are expecting to see continue through 2023. A lot less of these massive 200 plus people weddings and a little bit more intimate, less than 100, 75 people or so, which personally I love. I've had a lot of those over the last year and a half, couple of years, and moving into this year, I have a lot of more smaller intimate style weddings as well, and I absolutely love them. We're also seeing couples lean more into the kind of natural surroundings of their wedding, so opting for more outdoor ceremony locations, a little less indoor, traditional church, ballroom, whatever it might be, and kind of leaning into whatever the natural surroundings are. A lot of couples are placing emphasis on having a beautiful view and really pretty nature for their kind of backdrop of their wedding ceremony or their reception, and kind of playing into what those natural surroundings are when it comes to your wedding decor, and kind of letting the environment and the scenery that you're in play the major role when it comes to your decor. This probably comes as no surprise, but we are also seeing couples place a large emphasis on the party of it all. So a lot of couples are choosing to spend the majority of their budget, or prioritizing their budget, on things like their DJ or band, the bar catering, and likely the food. As these are all kind of the elements that play into the party atmosphere and being memorable for your guests. Speaking of dancing and receptions, a private last dance is something that we are expecting to see more couples choose to do in 2023. Again, this is something that I saw a lot of videos on social media about as kind of an up and coming trend that couples are choosing to do at the very end of the night, is having a private last dance. So steering away from those kind of send-offs, sparkler send-offs, and couples are choosing to take the end of the night as a opportunity to have a private moment together, and they are choosing to share a final last dance at the end of the reception, just the two of them. Smaller bouquets are something that we are expecting to see more of in 2023 as well. A little less of the very large and flowing bouquets that we have seen in the last few years. Brides are choosing to have a little bit more of a smaller bouquet and letting the dress really shine. And finally, non-traditional guest books are on the rise, and this is something that I saw a lot in 2022. I saw the introduction of a voice guest book. So companies like After the Tone, they send you an old school phone that you can pick up off of the receiver and just leave a voice memo for the couple, and it's recorded onto a USB drive basically, and all of your guests can leave a voice message, and then you send it back and they send you all of the audio recordings. And I think this is a really cool way to have a guest book, as it gives you an opportunity to kind of hear a little more authentic message from your guests, rather than just writing best wishes, congratulations in an actual guest book and signing their name. So I think that's a special way to make it a little bit more personalized, and we're seeing more of this style of guest book moving into 2023. I know 2023 wedding season is going to be here before we know it, and I'm so excited to see all of the weddings that come this summer and see some of these trends come into play. Hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did, please like and subscribe to get weekly videos on wedding planning tips and advice, and we'll see you next week.